morning, happy Monday, and cheers. Go get your coffee. I'm going to dive into something that's been on my mind really heavy lately, and it's the thought of personal brand. And I want to talk about personal brand because it's truly the most powerful thing that we can have. Like, having a strong personal brand will literally, don't mind my hair, by the way. Just like quick side note, I went outside and I walked. I wanted to get 5,000 steps before 9 a.m. I wanted to walk for 30 minutes, and I live in the South, and it is unbearable out there. It's unbearable. Even early in the morning, it's like, holy moly, cheese o Pete, it's really hot. Okay, so anyway, personal brand. I wanted to talk about this because not only is this everything that I teach when you get into my world is the power of personal brand. It feels like it's such a fun vessel to live in, because the power of personal brand truly depends on the power of you as a person. So to me, personal power equals personal brand. And that doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. That doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. It just means that you have to fully capture who you want to be. And I know that there's all this talk about who do you want to be in your higher self? Like who is the best version of you? Who is she? What does she do? What does she say? What are her goals? Like, how does she perceive the world? If you were to sit down and really capture who your higher self is, like who this person you want to become is, and then you asked yourself, where in your day do you act as this individual? And then you were like, where in my day can I actually put this into my front-facing content? And then where in my day can I actually market what I have to offer? That is personal branding. So personal branding is only as strong as your own results. Number one, like, what results have you gotten for yourself? And then comes like the results that you get your clients, the people that pay you. And then also only as powerful as how many people know about you. Like who in your world knows about you other than the people that you went to high school with or college with, or your friends and family, or like the people local to you? Like, are you doing a good enough job with your reach? And obviously, there's a whole slew of options for you when it comes to reach. You can stretch yourself really thin and you can get on multiple different platforms. You can pay for paid ads. You can collaborate with people. You can have a podcast. Like, there's so many different options. The options are endless. But one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention is I'm doing this challenge with, first of all, it started with one of my really close friends. We were like, okay, let's do this little challenge together where we go live more than we currently go live on Instagram. And our details are like, we're going to go live a few times a week. And there's like rules to this entire challenge. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to actually bring this challenge to my mastermind as well. And I'm going to see who in my mastermind wants to do this challenge with me, because it can only take us further up, like to the top. And I'm personally going to the top. So anytime I think about what I'm going to do to rev up in my business, I do bring it to my mastermind women. And I'm like, who wants to do this with me? The moment that I dropped that I was doing this challenge, I'm not even kidding. My entire mastermind was like, this is scary as F, but I'm in. Sign me up. Like, where do I get the details? Like, they were all in. One of the mastermind women actually, she went ahead and already got started. And I'm like, the challenge starts on Sunday. And she's like, I did it. And I don't know. It's just like, what a cool group of women that I'm surrounding myself with that are in my world. Melinda says, working on my brand and starting from scratch, glowing through it, 50 and thriving. Love that, Melinda. That sounds so freaking magical. I love that vision. And whatever you do, do not stop. So yes, let's get back to personal brand. Thank you, Melinda, for keeping us on track. So as far as when it comes to you talking about your offers and things that you have created, and then also you have over here, like, this is social media. Like, you have to be somewhat captivating. This is where I believe my coaching truly shines, because I have had experience being an influencer, truly. I have had experience being an entrepreneur. That's what I am right now. I know how to market my offers. I know how to talk about what people want. I know how to do pain point marketing. I know how to do desire marketing. I know all the messaging. Obviously, there's always room to improve, but I know all of that over here. So when you have the influencer, the woman who is influencing, what she does really well is she's very entertaining. She creates really good, captivating videos. She creates community online. She brings people in because she's really fun to watch, but she doesn't necessarily have her own offers. She doesn't have her own entrepreneurship, her own things to sell. Like she gets brand deals. And then we have over here, we have the entrepreneur who all she wants to do is talk about what she's created, all of her offers, like come into my world, I can help you, I can serve you. And you can't, if you want to be successful as an entrepreneur, which I figure most of the people who follow me at this point are online coaches of some sort, providing some sort of service or coaching people through a transformation. When you have created your offers, if all you're talking about are your offers and you're missing out on like who you are as a human being and the captivating, entertaining pieces of you, if you're missing that, then people are going to get really bored. It's like watching the infomercial channel. That's what it's going to feel like. So it's like you have to have this really good balance of understanding what does it take to turn my personal brand into like a TV show, if you will, and then infuse the commercials, okay? Like if there's commercials, there's paid ads, whatever. That's what keeps my business thriving, and that's my offers. So you can't just be influencer where all you're doing is talking about what you do in your day and posting your breakfast and your smoothie. And then you can't just be a person who only talks about your offers. You kind of have to infuse both. And that is why the offer that I'm getting ready to drop the branding for today, which is going to go crazy. I'm so excited. I've been talking about it, so it's not like a huge secret, but the program that is getting ready to start in a week, okay, has everything to do with this concept of weaving these things in, basically to make it feel effortless for you to sell your offers. And I do this through a launch strategy, if you will. And there's 4 phases to the launch that I've created. There's launch strategy everywhere. Like you can go find out how to, like make your filters look prettier. Like you can go find a way to like make your feed look more aesthetic. That is not really what I teach. I teach creating a personal brand so that people buy dirt from you, so that you can build your empire, so that you can make your mark, and you have this mission, you have this vision that lights you up. Now put it to work and like actually get in the trenches and test the boundaries, test your edge, like truly become unique in what you do. And the only way to do that is to move through it. So the 4 phases to my launch is phase number 1 is runway. And I'm going to be sharing throughout this program, like all of the pieces of content that would be applicable during the runway phase. And during the runway phase, the content that you're posting is so black and white different than the next phase, the next phase, and the next phase, like completely different. And when you do structure your launch this way, there is no amount of time. Like you don't have to be in runway for 2 weeks. That's not my launch strategy. It's actually amount of times that you've posted the type of content that I'm getting ready to tell you to post. So runway, that is phase 1. Phase 2, you go into what is called like initiation or liftoff. So like, obviously it's a launch, like imagine an airplane, like you're in runway and then you're at initiation, you're about to lift off, like, the initial descent. Wait, that would be going down. The initial ascent probably is the better word. And there's a specific pieces of content that you post during that phase to get people starting to warm up so that when you do drop your offer, when you do say like, hey, I have something to invite you into, they don't feel whiplash from you. Like this whole time, like they've been building the hype with you all along so that when you do drop your offer, it's like, yo, I've been waiting for this. This is exactly what, like you've been telling me all the stories. This is exactly what I need. I'm so excited. How do I get in? That sort of vibe. So that's phase 2. And then phase 3 is like the behind the scenes, the hype, a little bit of mystery around what you're doing. The mystery marketing, like curiosity marketing, that's the word I'm looking for, is insanely powerful, like insanely powerful. I have tested my marketing where I've said, I have this offer coming. Here's like the overall vibe, but I'm not giving you any details, and you can sign up now to get it at 50% of the overall price. And I've literally had multiple people buy in during just that sort of marketing where I'm giving 0 details. I've also used this theory with my clients, and the same thing has happened for them. And it doesn't matter how many followers you have. I have clients who have a couple hundred followers. I have clients who have several hundreds of thousands of followers. Truly, it does not matter. All that matters is your ability to weave in your personal brand. And then the final phase is that formal launch. So like, for example, today I am starting the formal launch for this offer, for this experience. So you're going to get all of the, like, you'll know the title, you'll know exactly what's going to happen in this program starting today. This is the phase that I'm going into. With that being said, I would love to invite you into my DMs. If you have any questions about what this experience is going to be, I would love to have that conversation with you of, is this the right experience for me? I will say, this is going to be an experience. This is not going to be me teaching you a concept where you take it and you try to apply it and run with it. I'm getting in the trenches with you in your business, and it's like kind of customizable. So there will be some people that come into this experience and they have a really hot audience, for example. Like, their audience, they've done the work to build their personal brand, and their audience is like ready to buy from them from the jump, like off the rip. They're trying, like, it's so easy for them to sell. There will be people that come into this experience who actually have a very cold audience, and we need to do some different type of work. So I will be recognizing that in you. That is why there's a cap on the seats that are welcome into this experience, because I give full attention to who is in front of me in this room. Having said that, I am getting ready to release the content prompt to the takeover, which is my mastermind, and they get a weekly content prompt. And I'm not going to give you all the details that they get. They get like an in-depth of why this piece of content is important, how to conceptualize this piece of content. But I do just want to give you like an overall idea of this content prompt so that you can take it for free, run with it, apply it to your business, create this piece of content, see how it feels, and just kind of like get into the flow of creating content the way that I create content, the way that I teach my clients how to create content, because it freaking works. So the content idea that I want you to take away from this is, I want you to conceptualize your ideal client and whatever you're inviting into this week, whether that is the one-on-one space, maybe you have a one-on-one spot available. Maybe it's your mastermind, maybe it's your membership, maybe it's a new group offer, maybe it is an intensive or like a VIP day, whatever it is. Maybe it's an in real life event, like a retreat or a convention, like it doesn't matter. I want you to conceptualize that offer first and think of the ideal person that you would want to come into that space. And I want you to truly have like a human being in your mind. And I don't use the word avatar because I really like to coach my clients to find an actual human being in their mind. Like, who's someone that you've worked with that you were like thinking to yourself, man, if I could get that person in this offer, this would be so fun to work with that person. Not just because I know that I could help them, but they're going to be so responsive to the way that I coach. So I want you to think of that person specifically. She or he, they have a name. And I want you to ask yourself, like, what are the things that she's doing right now that you know need to be fixed? Like, they're doing these habits, like they're going through these behaviors, and these things are not getting them as far along as they should be. They're not getting them to the point of like, you're getting closer and closer to the result. It's actually like they're just keeping busy, or maybe they're just like not giving a specific Tance. They're like not giving a specific additive to this type of behavior. And you're like, dude, if you could just lean in a little bit more, like if you could just give a little bit more, like you're missing this part of the passion, then you would open up a whole new world. Like it would finally click and you would finally start to progress forward. So what are those things? I want you to think of like 2 to 4 maximum things. And I want you to put that into a piece of content. And whether your brand is like, maybe it's spicy or maybe it's like super compassionate and loving and warm and like mothering, it doesn't matter, but you do need to think about like the emotion behind it. Like who are you when you are coaching behind the scenes? What is that type of energy? And infuse that into this piece of content where you think to yourself, okay, if I'm going to tell this ideal client, this person to fix these things, how would I tell her to fix these things if she was actually in my world? Like, what would that feel like for her? And then take that personality, because I don't want you to just show up in this piece of content and say, here's where you suck. This is what you need to fix. You're missing the boat. Like, you're missing the idea here. The mission in this piece of content is for you to totally remember, we talked about the influencer who has the ability to captivate and build community because she has so much personality. And then when we talk about the marketer, the entrepreneur over here who has the offer, she has insight. Like she knows her ish. She has wisdom to deliver. So when you combine the two of them, you add the personality, you add the insight, and you create this baby of like, holy crap. Like I'm so captivating. That is what this piece of content turns into. I hope that you have fun creating this piece of content. If you end up posting it, I would love for you to like send me the link to my DMs so I can cheer for you and I can check out what you created and just like be on the journey with you. Otherwise, I am getting ready to yeah, I'm both. Okay. I'm getting ready to release the details for my newest program. I'm so excited. If you have any questions about it, my DMs are open and I would love to chat with you to see if this is the right experience for you. Otherwise, make today a great Monday, would ya? Make today a great Monday. Go fill up your coffee. Maybe warm it up a little. Mine's a little lukewarm. I need to go zing it. And yeah, have a good day. I love you so much. Mwah.